My name is Jason Schack. I'm here today because I was sexually abused by Father Fanelli the first day on my Holy Communion and continued until I graduated 8th grade. Second grade was a grade that I was really looking forward to. Around that time, I was getting really active with sports. A lot of things to look forward to. And I remember being really excited about making my communion. I remember dressing up. I remember going to church. I remember walking down the aisle. I remember the whole proceeding. And I remember being called back up onto the altar and back into where the changing room for the altar boys was. I wasn't an altar boy at that point. And that's what I thought I was going to be asked to, if I wanted to be an altar boy at that point. But when I walked back there, it was completely dark. Had the musty, it's a weird smell that I can't get rid of, that's with me constantly, but it smells musty, velvety, incensey. But walking back there and not seeing any light, and then just being raped. Got pulled from behind and just no warning, no nothing. As soon as I walked in, the door closed. Within seconds, it seemed like I was being completely taken advantage of. On the day of a sacrament that I'm supposed to be celebrating with my family, with friends, people in my grade. And just, I'll never, to this day, I'll never forget. It's one of those days that I remember pretty much everything from the moment I woke up until that incident. But then my whole life was just turned upside down after that. It was just complete chaos. And in that, all I wanted was, where's my mom? Where's my mom?
Did the abuse continue the entire time through grammar school?
At least twice a week, from 2nd grade into 8th grade. So I came to my addiction recovery place in 2018, January 8th. And you get assigned a counselor when you're there, and he just let me talk, like we're doing now, and we just talk. And about 3 or 4 weeks went by, and then in a chapel service, I shared what happened to me as a child. And my mom was in the back. I remember looking at my mom, and I remember my mom just putting her head down like this. And after service was over, I walked in the back and I sat next to my mom. My counselor at the time was also in the back. And he walked over because he saw my mom's head go down as well. And he said, "Do you want me to sit with you?" And I was like, "Yes, I would appreciate that if you could." And my mom said the same. And she said, "I have something to tell you." And this is my mom sharing her heart. She originally had told us that my dad had passed away in his sleep. That's what she told the entire family. It turns out that he took an entire bottle of pain pills before he went to sleep, and he successfully committed suicide the night before. But not after telling my mom that he was sexually abused by this same priest as a child. And I'm here to share my story. I'm here to set the record straight. To anyone who desires to come or desires to hear it, and sharing it in the town where my school and where my abuse was located. When I was a little kid, it was this street that ran along the backside of my grammar school, on the backside of the rectory, and the backside of the convent where the nuns and the priests live. sometime in the 90s or early 2000s, it was renamed Monsignor Fanelli Way. And I think that's a disgrace, just knowing that there's people besides myself that were abused by this priest. And not only to be elevated to the level of Monsignor, but also to name a street after him, I think is heinous. There's people that are hurting, there's people still hurting, myself included. And I have to drive down that street or walk down that street and see that street sign. It needs to come down. It feels like a big deal. I know it's a big deal. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here. But my story needs to be told. It needs to be heard. And it needs to come out, and it needs to inspire somebody else to share their story as well.